5 years after extraordinary, the GC champions of the SSAM champion of the world, Mr. JP Will. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, man. Welcome to the AMBC, or more affectionately known as the Action Movie Book Club. My name's JP. You just heard Hans with the incredible intro, but I'm doing fucking fantastic because we're doing a complete banger of a movie today. What are we doing?
That's right. Today, our feature presentation is John Wick, Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, Electric Boogaloo, with the fourth movie coming out.
Yeah, when
we're recording this the 24th, I want to say 24th, something like that.
Yeah, I meant to look that up real quick, but
yes, 24th.
Right.
Friday, March 24th, and we're recording this on Monday, March the 13th.
On the 14th. And then, of course, we'll be finishing up the first three with the third one next week.
And they're all on Peacock right now. So if you don't have access to them, check them out on Peacock. But they did a very lame thing, because usually Peacock with movies, you watch like 3 minutes of ads before the movie, and then there's no ads during the movie. This one, there's ads during the movie.
That's obnoxious.
Like I'm watching it on, the USA Network or something.
Yeah. I mean, just put them all at the beginning. Let me eat 10 minutes of ads. I don't care. But don't interrupt the movie.
Yeah, don't interrupt the movie. And I mean, they do an okay job, I guess, at picking their ad breaks, but it's still pretty annoying.
Well, yeah, because a movie isn't meant to have ad breaks. Like a show is structured as such, but a movie's not. Yeah. Luckily, they're always running deals of like packages of all of them together. Mm-hmm. I apparently bought all of them a while ago, so I had them. I didn't have to do it.
That's a good buy. That is a good buy.
No regrets on this one.
Do you think the fourth one's going to be the last one? Because Keanu, I mean, he's a badass, but he is not a young man. Do you think he's going to keep making these?
I mean, I don't know. Like, if they keep making money, it's probably hard to say no. I think he really enjoys doing them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Totally. How much more story do they have to tell, though?
Yeah, I guess we can make a better decision after we watch the fourth one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm fine with him making them as long as he'd like to. As long as his heart let's keep him coming. But
yeah. Let him be like Dirty Harry and make like fucking 18 of them.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to, and again, if he's all in on them, then I'm fine with it. But yeah, if it's just I'm also fine if he just wants a paycheck, but he doesn't strike me as that kind of guy.
No, not at all.
But before we get into that, what have you been watching, reading, seeing, doing this week?
The day we're recording this is the day after the Oscars, and I know a lot of people think they're lame or think it's whatever, but I really enjoy them because they kind of remind me of why I wanted to get into acting and why I like movies. And I know it's kind of it's political in terms of not always the person who we want to win wins, but everybody who I wanted to win won. Ke Huy Quan, short round, aka Data, won, and he just cried the whole time, which in turn made me cry.
You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
So good.
Oh, good. And they just, it's just a couple of dudes who made the movie, and they made this weird, but very, passionate, very endearing movie. And basically all the stars of the movie won Oscars for it. And then they won for screenplay, and they won for best feature film, which was really cool because Harrison Ford gave away the award for best feature, and then Ke Huy Quan, who was short round, came up and they hugged and they had a moment. That was awesome.
Very cool. Hey, I missed it. I don't have regular cable. I can watch things on network TV, but it's kind of a whole thing. There's steps that have to go into it, and I was in bed. Right. It's like, I don't want to do these steps. I'll just see one.
Yeah, I mean, really, when it comes down to it, if you want to just see you just YouTube the acceptance speeches like the next day.
Yeah, I was just on Twitter and it was telling me everything I needed to know.
Exactly. But also I watched the Last of Us finale. I won't say anything because I know you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But Haley's eyes were the size of like saucers the entire episode.
Well, I think I know what happens. I mean, they veered pretty closely to the game, which I hadn't played, but I knew what happened. And I've actually started playing the game as of the other day. And it's great, but and I think this is probably the tensest part of the game. But it was like 3 a.m. and I had to stop because I was getting scared. It was the part where you're in like you're underground, like in the water, and it's all dark. Hotel. I mean, that's probably like the tensest, scariest part of the game, right?
Oh God, it's just anytime where you have to kind of maneuver around clickers, and yeah, my blood pressure went up about 1,000 points while I was playing that game.
Yeah, it was tough. When all the rats started like swimming away from the direction that I was supposed to be going, I was like, nope, I'm done now.
Save at last checkpoint, turn the shit off.
I actually went up and found a video, like a walkthrough. I was like, I don't want to be surprised. I want to know what they're running from because it's bad, I assume. I don't want to be scared by it. Which I did, and I know now, but yeah, it's going to take some. I don't know if I'm going to get through that.
Oh, it's such a good game. I played it when it came out, but I went and I rewatched on YouTube, basically like, all the cutscenes with a little bit of gameplay in there, which ended up making it like a 3-hour kind of movie.
Yeah, very story heavy. It's really not that scary. That's the first time that it doesn't rely on like jump scares for the most part, which I appreciate.
Right.
I hate jump scares. Like they're hacky and easy, and I don't like them.
Yeah, it's just I could see how sometimes, a well-placed one makes sense, but I think it's scarier when you know what's coming.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, that's part of why I decided to play, because I've watched the entire show except for the finale, and they've adhered so closely. I felt like I wasn't going to be too surprised by anything that would scare me too much. And it's the case until that level.
Yeah.
I mean, just watching all those rats swim towards you.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
They're just so unsettling. And again, it was like 3 a.m. I was like, nah. No, thanks. Pass.
Yeah, it's so well done. What an incredible game and storytelling and acting. By Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson.
I mean, a lot of the tension doesn't really come from like scary monsters or things jumping out at you. A lot of it's just you don't have ammunition or you don't have ways to deal with certain things. Like you have to be really careful and kind of plan things out the way you're gonna use your limited.
You have to be so resourceful. Yeah.
And I'm terrible with the bow and arrow, but that would really help if I got better with it.
You'll get better.
Yeah,
it just takes time.
And I really like the changes that they made. I mean, the stuff with Frank and all that, I think was really great.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it a lot too. I think they talk about in the podcast after the show things that make sense. They said these decisions in a gameplay universe make more sense, but when you put them in kind of a live action scenario where you can't play, it doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah, like one big thing they changed was like the spores, where if you're in the area, they come out and you had to have a gas mask on and this and that. I think that was a good change.
Yeah,
you really see that in a TV show, like and then your leads are covered by a gas mask. Like
and I think we've learned
a show where he's covering his face the entire time. So let's see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Those beautiful chompers.
Exactly. That beautiful jawline.
Yeah, I like how they made Ellie even more of like a curmudgeon in the show too.
Yeah. She's so good, Bella Ramsey, and she was Lady Mormont.
Yeah,
from Game of Thrones.
It's fantastic.
So badass. She's so good. I'm really looking forward to where they go with the second season.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure I'll play part of that until I get scared too.
But that's kind of it on my end. What about you? What have you been watching, reading, seeing, doing?
Mando also came back. I think there's
yes.
Are you caught up on that?
I watched the first episode. Is that all that's out right now?
I think there's 2 out.
Oh, okay, I've only seen the first one then. I like it.
Really enjoyed it. I mean, it's exactly what you want it to be, you know. Not breaking ground, but more Katie Sackhoff, which I always love. Give me some Bo-Katan.
Starbuck.
Oh yeah, she's the best. I was just thinking about the like timeline of everything, and her character has got to be like 60, 70 years old, like in the timeline. She was in the Clone Wars and stuff, and she was like a normal age, probably, I don't know, 20s, 30s. Yeah, and then that's another 20, 30 years. Like, she's got to be old as hell.
She's taking that space HGH or something. I don't know.
She's having a nightly Bacta routine or something. That's the other thing. Like, who knows what like any age is in Star Wars, really? Like, maybe 14 is like 30, or maybe 30 is like 10. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, and it's also with actors nowadays. Like we said in Creed, Rocky, so Stallone was the same age as Burgess Meredith was in the first Rocky movie, and how different do they look? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. You can also be like, oh, people live to 120. That's just like normal. Like average humans live that long. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
I just never thought about it until I saw some timeline, and I was like, oh yeah, she's probably 1 million years old.
I wonder if anybody else has brought that up. We'll have to do like a Reddit deep dive or something.
Yeah, I'm sure someone has. Like, I mean, with nerds out there, I can't be the first one like that. It doesn't bother me in any way. I just thought it was interesting.
Right.
Bad Batch has been really good too. They're getting some heavier themes.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. They've done a really good
need to catch
nice mix of like more kid friendly, but then they're touching on some adult type themes that the Clone Wars did a lot more of.
I like that. I like when they bring in more stuff for adults too, and they give kids the kind of benefit of the doubt, and they're like, just because it's a cartoon doesn't mean it's going to be super G-rated.
Yeah, I mean, they have enough of that at the beginning, for sure. There's moments, but this last arc or so, it's gotten a lot more heavy, I guess you would call it.
Oh,
I mean, it's just touching on. I don't think this gives anything away, but it's touching on basically how the clone troopers are being replaced by stormtroopers, and like what that means for them, and how they're just kind of like cast aside like old equipment, but they're human beings, they're not that are just put out to pasture. They're real people, and like how that affects them, and that. Kind of interesting, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Huh.
Yeah, I recommend that. It's good. Let's see. That's about it. You wanna do this? You wanna do a little John Wick Chapter 2?
Yeah.
All right. Then let's get into our feature presentation.
And now, our feature presentation.
John Wick, Chapter 2 from 2017, 89% for the critics on Rotten Tomatoes and 85% for the audience, directed by Chad Stahelski, starring Keanu Reeves as John Wick, Common as Cassian, Lawrence Fishburne as the Bowery King, Lance Riddick as Charon, Ian McShane as Winston, and Johnny Legs shows up, and Peter Stormare shows up. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Peter Stormare. He probably didn't eat for a week after all the scenery chewing he did in this first scene. But he can do no wrong in my eyes. I love him.
That's meant as high praise.
High praise.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I wanted more of him. 'Cause he's just all afraid of him. He's just like, he did this all for a car and a puppy.
And he says a lot of the same shit that his brother did in the first movie. And when he's like, he killed a guy, and he's like, yeah, with a pencil. I heard that. And he's like, yeah, a fucking pencil. Who the fuck does that?
He's like, you've heard all the stories about him, and you might not think they're true, but if anything, they're watered down.
Oh yeah. Just dropping some bombs on us.
And I did love how they have a drink at the end, and he's just like, peace. He's like, yep, here, take your car, but don't hurt me.
Yep, bye. Please don't hurt me.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good.
I mean, I love Lance Reddick too. Ian McShane, always great.
Oh yeah, it's so good. And Lawrence Fishburne, and so many great people in this.
Let's just get into it. As we mentioned, John wants his car back. He doesn't really. He's not really killing people for the most part in this. I noticed this time.
Not in this first bit. He's just, fucking doing U's with his car and sending people flying into walls.
Yeah, but like he really only uses a gun once. And it's just to, like, kneecap someone, but he doesn't do the normal thing where then he shoots him in the head, as he's walking away. I thought that was kind of interesting. It was a way like that he could actually make peace. He's like, I didn't just kill all your men. Like, I hurt them very badly, but we're good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he Batmaned him on this one, not a Punisher.
Yeah, exactly. That stuck out to me this time. I didn't notice that the first time I saw this.
Yeah, I didn't really either. Good point.
I mean, any one of them could have been killed with what he was doing to them, but it wasn't like overt, no one's head exploding and things like that.
He's just amazing with the jujitsu and the judo, and I love how he he'll kick guys in the nuts, he'll throat chop them, he'll throw them off balance. It's all shit that makes sense. It's not just real flashy, I'm gonna punch you in the jaw and knock you out. It's like, no, I'm gonna do everything I can to fucking win this fight.
Yeah, like when he's grappling with a guy and the guy might be bigger than him to get leverage, he's like kicking him in each leg, like to weaken him. And once he's off balance, then he'll throw him with like a judo or something. Yeah, it's really fantastic to watch it all. Choreography is great. I mean, the director was a fight choreographer, I believe, like a stuntman.
I think he was Keanu's stuntman for Matrix.
Yeah, that sounds right. I know he had like a big life in that arena. So
yeah, totally.
I love guys like that getting a chance to direct. Like the guy who did what is it, the Hemsworth
Extraction.
Yeah, he was one of like the main stunt coordinator on some of like the Russo brothers Marvel movies or something like that.
When are we getting Extraction 2, by the way? What the fuck?
It's supposed to come out, right? Like I thought it was supposed to come out.
It was supposed to come out last summer.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know what happened to it.
Because that was one of our top action movies of 2022.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Heck.
Yeah, come on. Give us Extraction 2. I love the first one.
Me too. But we'll have to do the first one whenever that shows up.
Oh, most definitely.
So yeah, he makes peace. Whatever. Goes home, takes like a little stroll down memory lane. I still love that Bridget Moynihan is his wife. Never has any lines. She's just like, I guess she sort of has lines in the first one.
In like video flashbacks or whatever. Yeah.
She's not like in the movie as her character,
What a nice thing to get paid for. Hey, do you want to get paid to basically be in a picture and 2 15-second clips?
Yeah. Fantastic. That's a dream for me anyways.
It's a dream, baby.
So he has the stroll down memory lane, whatever. Goes to see Johnny Legs, has him fix his car.
Yeah, I'll have it ready for you. Christmas 2030.
Yeah.
I mean, how the fuck do you fix that car? He completely fucked it.
Yeah, it's a total rebuild. I mean,
yeah. At this point, yeah, come on now.
That's what they call totaled, I believe. No blue book value on that one.
Yeah, Kelly Blue Book is just they're shutting the Kelly Blue
Kelly
Book
just
on
said
that one.
no. No. So after this, he wants to quit again. Go back to being the mild-mannered guy he was before, I guess. Yeah, goes into his basement full of guns and gold and buries it again.
In the concrete again. Yeah.
Yeah, just being a little stonemason. I like him smoothing it all out and everything.
But I mean, like, why not leave the gold out? Because
yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's more symbolic than anything. Like,
yeah, true.
Right in the past, kind of visual or whatever. But of course, he's not out because he can't be out, or he wouldn't have these movies.
No, because every time I'm out, they pull me back in.
That line only makes me think of The Sopranos, not the actual.
Same.
It's from.
I know, me too. And everyone always just loves when he does it.
It's not even a good impression.
Oh, quick little tangent, Sopranos tangent. They didn't put Tony Sirico in the in memoriam in the Oscars last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't put him or Paul Sorvino or Tom Sizemore.
Oh, Sizemore feels like a big omission.
Yeah, he was in huge fucking movies.
Also, I mean, he had a disease. He was an addict.
Yeah, he was an addict. But I mean, like Paul Sorvino,
mobsters, though, like
yeah,
mobsters. So I can kind of see that.
But Paul Sorvino, he was in Goodfellas and lots of other shit too.
Right. But he was like an actual mobster, right?
No, he was just an actor.
Wait, which one was Paul?
He was the boss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of Paulie Walnuts.
He was but Tony Sirico, he was I think he was connected or some shit. But no, Paul Sorvino was just an actor, like did theater in New York, did Shakespeare and the whole shebang. And I think he got nominated for an Oscar too. And they left him out of the in memoriam, and he died a while ago too.
I actually didn't even realize Tom Sizemore died. That bums me out.
Yeah, he only like last week or something.
Oh man, he has one of my favorite lines in any movie. A movie we haven't done. Saving Private Ryan. It's like a nothing thing. It's when they make a hole in the defenses on the beach. He just like picks the gum out of his mouth, throws it. We're in business. I just love it. I don't know why. Not anything.
I love his line in Heat where he's like, what does he say? He's like, the action is the juice.
He was so good, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he had his problems. He had his issues. He was an addict. He had all of his other stuff with Heidi Fleiss and whatnot. But I mean,
yeah, a lot of that coincides. I'm not like defending him, but
right, of course,
he did have a disease.
I know, yeah, and addiction is a very serious disease, and it seemed like he really tried to get better and get clean, and but yeah,
some people just can't.
I know, it's so unfortunate.
It really is.
Yeah.
Anyways,
on a lighter note, John Wick 2.
Yeah, and Santino shows up at his door. I love how he's a real Italian man because he doesn't put his arms in his coat. That's how he's like really important Italian guy. He chats with John a bit and then gives him a marker. We get a lot more of the lore of this world.
I love it. I love the world building. I love the lore, the marker. They signed a blood oath to help John get out that impossible task.
Yeah, that's how he got out of the game, basically, to go live his time with his wife. It's like he's gonna call that in though.
Yeah, come on.
Of course. You're not out. And John's just like, no. Sorry.
Yes. Sorry about that. Can you go ask somebody else? And he's like, no, dude, you're the guy. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, he doesn't even ask what it is. He's just like, I'm not doing it. I love how he's like begging him not to. He's just like, please take it back.
No, John.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Says he can't help him. A lot of real cloak and dagger shit. He leaves, but only to go grab a grenade launcher and shoot a bunch of grenades into his house and blow it up.
Yep, and John gets thrown through his glass windows, lands outside, house on fire. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Yeah, luckily the dog lives this time.
Yeah, Jesus,
I don't think I could have taken that. Watching it all burn down. Another bit of symbolism, I'm sure. You know, watching his old life go away as he's pulled back into it. So of course, John heads to the Continental. You know, it's a safe space. Big snowfall. So he has a chat with Winston, right? Tells him basically he's fucked, or he's got to do this shit or he dies. He's like, you kill him, you die. If you don't do it, you die. You run, you die.
You got to do it.
Like, you know this, man. You know the rules. Like, come on. Gives him a little dose of reality, you know. And he then asks, is it Charon? Lance Riddick's
Chiron, I think.
I know it's spelled Charon, but I just didn't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Chiron or something. We'll just call him Lance Reddick.
Yeah, I don't want to do that because he's great. I love Lance. He's fantastic.
He's so good.
I like how he asks him if he boards dogs. He's like, no, but I'll do it.
I'll watch.
Yeah,
I will watch your dogs.
Yeah, because they're buds, so he agrees. And and also it's such a good boy, you know. Yes. Such a good boy.
And he has no name, and he has no name either, which is really funny.
Yeah, he's just dog.
Yeah, come here, boy. Sit. Stay. All right, bye.
John then goes to a museum to see Santino, or whatever his name was, and gets his joint copped a little bit. Real felt up, inappropriate.
Yeah, Ruby Rose gives him quite the reach around.
Yeah, big trombone. So he has a chat with him while they look at some art. He's like, I want the boogeyman. The mission he wants is he wants him to kill his sister. So that's not cool.
That's some fucking Shakespearean shit.
Yeah, I guess she's part of like the high table, which is like basically your board of directors of this assassin group, essentially.
Yeah, their dad died and then willed the seat to her and not him, and of course he's big butthurt over that, and he, basically just wants her killed so he can take her seat and be on the throne and have all the power.
Real scumbag. Real
diaper baby.
Yeah, loser. John's not happy about it, but he's accepted his fate. Like, he has to do it. Yeah, then goes and gets his little boogeyman suit. The John Wick suit.
Yeah, I take it he was like, I could go bang on this concrete again, but I really don't want to. I'll just go to this place where they've got another thing of my box of my shit.
Exactly. And then he heads to Italy to do his thing. Has himself a little tasting sesh.
I love that. I'd like a tasting. Just the suit ups are so amazing, and they're talking about guns like they're wine. All the Austrian varietals.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. And I can't remember that actor's name, but he's great.
Yeah, he pops up in so much shit.
It's one of those actors. He deserves.
And this is where we're first introduced to his bulletproof suit now, right?
Yeah. He's just basically clad in Kevlar, but looking sharp as hell,
looking dapper as fuck.
Yeah, just like a Tom Ford with reinforced ballistic plates.
Yeah, and lots of guns.
So many guns.
Yeah,
and cutlery. What
about dessert? And I love how the guy just goes and he just gives him a little smile, like, "I'm so glad you asked."
Yeah. That dude is loving his job.
Yeah.
Really a fantastic use of the gear up scene that we love so much.
I love it.
So he's all suited up and everything. got all his guns, all his toys. Goes to confront his target. It's some sort of like Euro trash techno nightmare.
Yeah. And it's just very, ominous music with just a woman singing into the microphone, just going, oh, with like techno beats in the background. And
That stressed me out just thinking about being in a place like that. I hated it.
Yeah, that's just not my thing.
Absolutely not. So he goes in, he makes his way to the target, the sister, and she like doesn't really even put up a fight. She's like, I know what's going on here, like there's nothing I can do. She basically just takes a bath and dies.
and she cuts her wrists, and at first I was like, wait, why did she cut her wrists again? And she's just, then he goes, why? Literally, when I was thinking it, John's like, why did you do that? And she's like, you know what, I've lived my life my way, I'm gonna go out my way too. But John still has to finish the job. So yeah, basically shoots her in the head anyway. And
yeah, but he lets her go out on her own terms at least. He very much does not want to do this. Like,
no,
his first
not at all.
interaction with her, she's like, I thought we were friends. He's like, I'd like to think we still are. Like, like I don't want to be here. Like, we are friends. I won't do this. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even seem mad at him. She's like, it's like part of the game. Like, there's nothing she can do about it. And like, she knows basically, it's just business.
Exactly. It's not personal.
Yeah. So tries to make his way out through that techno nightmare and stopped by Cassian, which is a great scene. It's like, you working?
Yeah. Good night.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And Common is great in this too.
He really is. He's quite good in this. Like just that little interaction, he knows what he's done basically, without actually having to say it.
Right.
They shoot each other a bit, but both have body armor, which is great.
Yeah, I love how John, when he uses his suit jacket and he like pulls it up right here, so then he could just like fire around his own little personal barricade,
like Batman's cape or something.
Yeah.
So big fight ensues. A lot of murder, much murder.
A lot of clip flipping in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, just the little things, like he's always checking to make sure he has a round in the chamber, and like before he goes around a corner or something. It's really fantastic, that level of detail.
I love it. It's so good.
So it seems like he escapes, but of course there's a double cross, which, like, why? Like, I know the movie still has to keep going, but why?
I mean,
you know who you're dealing with. Like, why do that?
Because then, I think Santino says later, my sister was killed. I have to avenge it, in the eyes of people, or else people are going to know that I did it or I contracted it.
Just find a fall guy. Well, you gotta go after Wick. You know he's going to kill you.
Maybe he's
the movie. Like, you're not going to get him. Sorry.
I think maybe this dude is, brash enough to think that I could kill John Wick.
Yeah. Or like, he's been out of the game too long, maybe he's all washed, or yeah, you're probably right, but still, idiot. Like, you're sure he knew. He was just like, no, just give the car back and have a little drink. We're good. You killed everyone.
We're good.
Know, but that's fine. It's fine. Okay. So, yep, they try to kill him, tie up loose ends, but no, I mean, it doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well. John's got 18 different guns in these catacombs, including that shotgun. Holy hell.
He does some work with that shotgun.
Yeah, he's surgical with that bitch.
Surgical. So, a lot more fighting, shooting, killing, whatever. Seems like he gets away again, but then Cassian shows up common, and they're just like, the way they're shooting at each other in crowded areas with silencers.
And just throwing each other around on the concrete. That shit looked like it hurt so bad.
Yeah, it's a really great fight between the two. He ends up shanking him, but he doesn't really kill him.
Oh, that doesn't happen yet. They're
you're right.
bashing the shit out of each other, and they fall into the Continental.
That's right. And then you can't fight in the Continental. That's right.
May I suggest a trip to the bar?
Yeah, he's like, you still a gin guy?
Bourbon, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they just have a little drink instead, and he's like, yeah, you're free now. He's like, am I? He's like, no.
Also, how? And then he walks out of the bar. Ruby Rose is deaf, and John knows sign language too. John, knows everybody, what they drink, and every language.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he's the best.
That's why he's the best. That's true. I don't know. Why am I even questioning it?
Yeah, she's almost like hitting on him a little bit. It's like, well, have a drink with me. He's like, no.
No.
We'll be murdering one another soon, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he knows he's coming for him. Like, this isn't over. He's got his boss, and Santino then puts like a big old hit on him, out on John, like $7 million or something.
Yeah, and the message is going out to everyone. Everybody.
Yes, like 50% of this world, are assassins apparently.
Like, yeah, seriously, everyone's bring, bring, bring.
So he's like, and he knows about it. You know, he gets informed because they like him there. He checks out, and he kind of gets like smuggled out. He gets shown like a secret way out the back or whatever. Everyone's coming for him. Lots of fighting. Like, he fights like a sumo guy.
Holy hell, that big dude took some shots. John's just shooting him in the side, shooting him in the stomach, shooting him in the chest, shoots him in the head, and then he falls down, and then he walks away, and you hear the guy go, ugh. Yeah. He just shoots him again.
He's just like Kingpin size, just a beast of a man.
And the pencil, we finally get pencil kills.
Yep, he does a pencil kill. It's great. And then we get the shooting with like the silencers, which, I mean, I know it's a movie thing, but like, silencers aren't really that quiet.
No, I love that too. They're just walking down the aisle.
Yeah, it's so casual, just like under the arm, just. And it ends up beating Cassian's ass on the subway, but that's when he doesn't really kill him. He like stabs him. And he has some sort of knife that he's like, if you pull it out, you'll bleed to death. But like, I'm just gonna leave you here. Like,
yeah, and he kind of does a little throwback to earlier when he says, "I'll consider this a professional courtesy." And Common said that to him earlier. He said, "I'll make this quick. Consider it a professional courtesy."
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little.
Yeah, he doesn't hate him. Like, he knows again, it's just. He realizes the situation. It's just like he has to come for him, and like,
yeah,
but there's no animosity. Like, they don't hate each other.
No, it's an honor among thieves kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So he fucks off. Whatever. They John goes to see the Bowery King,
played by our guy Larry Fish.
Oh man, he's basically like, he has like a network of like fake homeless people, like something, I don't know, like his pigeon, like but, like, that's their cover, which is great. He goes to see him for some help, I guess.
Yeah, this is actually our scene read too.
Let's do it. Let's that bad boy up.
All right. And continuing on brand, you'll be John Wick. I'll be the Bowery King.
Perfect.
All right, whenever you're ready.
There's a storm coming. Not just for me, for everyone. For all of us under the table.
Yes. Killing someone who has a seat at the high table does create a problem. But it's your problem, baby. After all, none of my people sent Gianna D'Antonio to the hereafter.
That being said, Santino has her seat now, and he wants the city. You think when he has that, he's going to stop at 14th Street?
We'll just have to take care of ourselves.
Oh, yeah? For how long? For how much blood? You kill Santino, the Kimura, and the High Table come for you. I kill Santino. They come for me.
He's offered $7 million for your life. $7 million is a lot of money, Mr. Wick.
So I guess you do have a choice. Do you want a war? Or do you want to just give me a gun?
Somebody, please get this man a gun.
So good.
Oh, I love it. Neo and Morpheus back together.
I know, back together again. It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they threw him in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he gives him a gun.
He gives him a gun and with 7 bullets in it.
Yeah, poetic.
Yeah.
So of course John then goes and tries to kill Santino. Lots more fighting. They're in this like big fun house of mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that old trope.
Yeah, the old Enter the Dragon trope.
You wanted me back? I'm back.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
So good.
Yes. So yeah, lots of fighting. He like does away with Ruby Rose. Kind of. He doesn't really kill her either, does he?
He does. I have a little bit of my trivia. Yeah. For it.
Okay. So yeah, he dispatches all the henchmen. A lot of fun.
I love when he runs out of bullets at one point. He just throws the gun at somebody, so then they get distracted so he can get close enough and fuck them up.
Yeah, because I mean, guns aren't light. Like if you get hit by a gun, it's not gonna feel good. You're gonna feel
That's
it.
gonna hurt real bad.
Yep, it's great. Yeah. After he goes through all these lackeys, he finds Santino, who's hiding like a little baby, in the Continental, so he can't get him. You know.
Of course, he's eating, a steak and duck fat fries.
Yeah, just being a real glutton. And John's like, fuck off, and just shoots him.
And I love how Ian McShane is just there the whole time. Just Jonathan, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. And then, nope, bang, dead.
Yeah, and then he's just like, he doesn't get mad. It's just like when your parents are disappointed and you're just like, oh, man.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
So good. Yep. So he's broken the rules, right? Which means you get excommunicado. You know, which basically is about to happen. But since they all like him, they kind of they don't do it right away. Yeah,
they bend the rules just a little bit.
Yeah, like Lance Reddick takes him like a little bit of a drive away and brings him his dog back. You know, again,
he's got to have his little pup with him.
Yeah, he's got to give him his dog back, and sends him on his way. But he then once more meets with Winston, and like basically I'll give you an hour, you know. And
the hit has gone international too now.
Yeah, you just see all the phones lighting up of different hitmen all around everywhere, and John starts running, and credits.
Oh, I like this one a lot. I still think the first one is my favorite, but I like this one a lot too. This one's fun.
Yeah, I didn't remember much of this one. I think this is only the second time I've seen it. And like I enjoyed it, but there wasn't nothing really stuck with me. But I enjoyed it a lot more this time.
Yeah, same here. I think, gosh, was this only the second time I've seen it? Maybe third time. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I've got some good trivia if you want to hear.
Yeah, hit us with some trivia.
Keanu Reeves performed about 95% of the film's stunts himself. The only stunts that he didn't do are the ones in which John Wick gets hit by a car and the one in which he falls down the stairs during the fight with Cassian.
Yeah, I mean, it shows too. Like,
yeah, it really does. It
so
really does.
Takes if it's clearly him, you know.
To prepare for the role, Keanu Reeves trained for 3 months. His training consisted of judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, marksmanship, and driving. Reeves had retained almost all of the training from the original movie, requiring very little time to get back up to speed. The instructors commented that by the end of this training, Reeves could easily be the one training them, and his proficiency ratings were better than most seasoned professional soldiers.
I love how seriously he takes. I mean,
It's great.
it's part of why these movies work. It's part of why The Matrix work. You know, he literally learned all this stuff, and he's good at it.
Yeah. In the Bowery King's office, a pair of circular glasses on his desk, which are very similar to Morpheus' glasses in The Matrix.
Ooh, I didn't notice that. I like it.
I didn't notice that either. I'll have to go back and check that out. Director Chad Stahelski and Keanu Reeves agree that one of the secrets to John Wick violence is to start with something funny and end with something funny, but fill the in-between with as much brutality as they can muster.
I like that. It's a little like what's his name? The guy who did like Kick-Ass and
Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah, where he has those horrific scenes imaginable, but he'll put it to like fun, upbeat music.
Yeah, like the church. The church shit.
Like first time hit girl who's a literal child just massacres a bunch of people. It's just like it's happy, upbeat music.
Keanu Reeves brought Peter Stormare into the film to play the brother to the first film's big bad. We were actually hanging out, said Reeves. He loved the first one, and he said, "What can I do?" Just brought him in. I love that.
I love the idea of those two just hanging out like buds, just being bros.
Just having dinner or something.
Yeah.
I love
just
that.
having dinner, like going to a movie, like
just hanging out.
Yeah.
So Chad Stahelski's wife, Heidi Moneymaker, is an accomplished stunt woman in her own right, and here she doubles for Ares and plays the killer violinist.
Oh, nice.
Keanu Reeves meets up with Lawrence Fishburne a few times each year, and on one of those meetings, the elder actor mentioned his love for John Wick. They got a script for the sequel to him shortly thereafter, and the actor replied that same day saying simply, "I'm in. Fish."
Yeah. I mean, why would you not want to be, you know?
How could you not?
Like, I would do anything if Keanu asked me for a favor, but
yeah.
I mean, this is even more so.
I mean, yeah, why the fuck not? When John Wick kills Ares, he stabs her in the same place he stabbed Cassian. The only difference is that he removes the knife. This shows that he refused to give her the same professional courtesy he gave Cassian.
Yeah, he wasn't a big fan of hers.
And it was crazy how he stabbed her through the hand, and then he pushed it in, and it went into her chest.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Oof. All right. Last, but certainly not least, body count. Body count. What do you think? What do you think? It's a lot.
Yeah, it's got to be super high.
I'll give you one hint. It's over 100.
Yeah, I was thinking triple digits. 162.
116.
Oh, man.
When you said 106, and I was like, oh, no way!
That would have been incredible.
That would have been awesome. Awesome. But that's it for my trivia, and we already mentioned what we're watching next week, but do you want to let everybody know again?
Oh, coming up next week, we will be going to John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Parabellum, also on Peacock, hopefully not with that bullshit ads in the movie.
Yeah.
Insane.
And the addition of the greatest character ever put to film, TikTok man, Jason Mantzoukas, Hangout Man himself. Love it.
I've only seen 3 once in the theater. I haven't seen it since in the theater. So interesting.
I think I watched 2 and 3 like back to back when I bought like the trilogy pack, you know, or whatever. Like that's the last time I've seen either of them.
Yeah, so this will be fun. I know that one big basketball player is in it where they fight in the library.
Yeah, and he kills him with a book.
Kills him with a book.
Yeah. Who is that? It's what's his name? Hold on, I'll find it.
Yeah. I forget his name, but he was in Hustle too, the Adam Sandler basketball movie, which was really great.
Oh, who was it? It was, what's his name? That's gonna bug me. Halle Berry's in this one too. Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
It's getting there. I'm getting there.
Almost.
On. Boban.
Mm-hmm.
Marjanovic. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And he's just because he's fucking gigantic. He's huge.
Oh, it's so good. Is anyone else that we know in this? Yeah, I mean Halle Berry. About
the dude from Game of Thrones who was Tyrion Lannister's best buddy, Jerome Flynn. He was Bronn.
Oh, Bronn. Oh yeah, he is. That's right.
Oh yeah, Angelica Houston is in this too.
Yeah,
Mark Dacascos, who is kind of one of the big straight to DVD action movie guys, but he's a fucking badass regardless.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yeah, there's a lot of big people in this movie.
I am excited for this. And I took a look at the newest chapter 4. Inexplicably, almost like 3 hours long.
Of course it is.
I mean, this one's only 2, right? I mean,
I feel like they just get longer because the first one was an hour and a half, clean, solid, amazing. This one 202. Let's see what the third one is.
Third one is 210.
210. Yeah, 210, and then fucking 245 or something.
That's absurd. That's too much. I'll say it. It's too long.
It's too long. And I mean, John Wick also. It's just. Yeah, it's 249. Holy hell.
It's insane.
That's man, it's tough for me to say this, but it's almost bordering on like too much because there's so many intense fight scenes and they like them to go on for a really long time, and 3 hours of that I can see it being a little bit draining.
Yeah, it'd just be exhausting by the end. I mean,
exactly.
They have my like I think I mean I'm on board,
yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm still gonna go see it.
I trust at this point. Like I think that's too long, but we'll see what they do with it. Like I trust them to do it right.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of big movies, big tentpole movies they're competing with TV, and they're still trying to bring people back to the movies. And Wakanda Forever was 245. The Batman was like 245, 250. Avatar, Way of Water is almost 3 hours long.
Yeah. I mean, you'd think they would want to keep them shorter, because the shorter the movie, the more times you can run it over again in a day, and like more,
You'd think, but also I guess with tentpole movies like that, they'll have them in multiple theaters, staggered times and all. And
everything's that long now, so it's probably one of those things. Like if you like a podcast, it's normally an hour and a half long, and you get like a 55-minute one that week. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's not me though for a movie. I just want it to be done.
That's why we say an hour and a half is the best. It's a solid,
beautiful time frame for a movie.
Love it.
Still excited to see it. That's it's not,
of course,
not keeping me away from the theaters. That's for sure.
Not at all. Not at all. But that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
Not really. Why don't you hit us where you can find us?
You can find us at www.actionmoviebookclub.com. You can also find us on Twitter at ActionMovieBC or on Instagram at ActionMovieBookClub. We're also on TikTok and YouTube as well. Give us a like and subscribe on there. And also, while you're at it, if you're feeling generous, give us a little like and subscribe on your podcasting venues, because it will help boost us in the algorithm and get us in more people's ears, because we love doing what we're doing and we'd like to keep doing what we're doing. And also, while you're at that, if you're also being extra generous, Hans, our boy Hans, if you didn't know already, has another awesome podcast called the Comic Book Club. Do you want to say a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's me and recurring guest Charlotte Hollingsworth. We go through a different comic book run every week. It comes out every Wednesday. We usually actually don't finish the entire run because we've learned that it takes us about an hour to go through 3 issues. So it's usually a couple episodes per run. But
I like that.
Really in the throes of Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, and it's fantastic. It's so good.
So fucking good. Grant Morrison's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's really great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check it out. Just look up that name, comic book. It's out there everywhere. Do it.
Yeah, you can find it. Probably you can find it on like a library app like Hoopla or Overdrive or something like that if you want.
Yeah, I think I got it on Comixology. I can't remember if it was part of it or it's just cheaper, but yeah,
also a good one.
Very good stuff.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's about all I got. Why don't you take us out?
Happy trails, Hans.
I'm back.